and segue into Schumacher's Batman Forever, which as a kid I really digged.
Oh, as a kid, I actually really liked this one.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like, it was... we were excited with a new take on it, honestly.
Yeah,
I was excited to see someone else's interpretation of Batman, I was.
Yeah. And one thing at that point, we didn't care if Michael Keaton came back, because we were like, oh, the next Batman movie's coming out, I can't wait for that.
Well, it was Val
so.
Kilmer, and I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
cool, he could do the Batman. And then it was the Riddler and Two-Face as the villains, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, those are awesome new villains.
Yeah, but...
and then, again, as a kid, as you said earlier,
Yeah.
it was very colorful, it was very flashy.
Yeah.
It had a lot of slapstick jokes in it, and it had a lot of camp,
Yeah.
which is appealing as a kid. You love that stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't
Yeah.
you don't really think of that as a negative or distracting.
You think it's like everything, it's the world, like, or
Yeah,
something.
you know what I mean? You just get absorbed in it. Plus, it was so, like, flamboyant that having that Gotham, Schumacher's Gotham next to Burton's
It was like
Gotham,
awe-inspiring, like, oh my god!
yeah, it was like
awesome.
flashy lights. You were kind of hypnotized by it, you know.
Batman with like all the gadgets and outfits.
It looked very much like sort of like an anime city too.
Yeah.
A lot of neon lights, a lot of different cultures mixed in one city.
Yeah.
It was an interesting take.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, thinking back on it now, I prefer the dark, grim one. But
Yeah.
at the time, I really
Yeah.
liked it too. And Nick was crazy about this movie.
Yeah.
He loved it, watched it all the time, and loved the Riddler.
Yeah, it's like I mean, as a child, I wanted a Batcave. I wanted like outfits. I wanted everything, and also, yeah, and definitely, and I dug the Riddler. Well, it's because the reason for it now is because I was such a huge Jim Carrey fan. After The Mask and all that, so he was like my role model. So I thought he could do no wrong. But looking back on it now, yeah, I mean, he was told to do that, so.
Well, he was given like a free reign to make the character his own.
But he was kind of being like the Joker, especially at the end when he was laughing in Arkham with the best.
But you know what?
So.
In his defense, the Riddler and the Joker have always overlapped a little. I never really saw the need for the Riddler, to be honest with you.
No.
He never really had his own identity. It was always like puzzles that were kind of like... It was like he was like a one-shot horse. I think this movie actually helped a lot. It took him into a scientist aspect. It took him into like a draining of knowledge.
Well, that's
sort of like a sinister company. Like, it took him in new areas. I'm not saying that was the best way for the character.
It was not.
But it made him interesting and new again. And so he wasn't just being like, here's another riddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, follow this clue.
Yeah, but draining people's minds, that seems a little too Brainiac Mad Hatter-ish for me.
Well, I knew the Superman franchise was dead by then. There was no way they were going to do Brainiac.
Yeah.
So that was completely out. Who cares if it stepped on the toes?
Well, originally they were going to do it in Supergirl, but they never did.
And the Mad Hatter,
I
don't think he's as popular as the others.
He stays in the comics. You can't really bring
Mad Hatter is more mind control, not like draining of knowledge and stuff. So
yeah.
And you can all kind of commentary with television, draining people's things, yada yada yada. But still, it was a new take on the Riddler.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to admit the costumes were kind of cool. Like
yeah.
His lair was cool. His attitude, I kind of liked.
The introduction to Robin.
His origin was cool.
Yeah, which I have to like. In terms of like visuals, I liked that the comic book outfit was actually his circus outfit. So.
Yeah, the origin.
Yeah, I liked.
Sorry, Robin was introduced in this, of course.
Yeah, played by Chris O'Donnell.
And they kind of tied in Two-Face to his origin, which is interesting.
Because Two-Face kills his parents.
But it also it makes really good sense because for why he adopts Robin is because Batman always felt responsible for Two-Face. And for Two-Face to kill someone else's parents, that would make Bruce even more willing to take him on. I honestly feel that actually makes more sense than just a random dude killing Robin's parents and Batman adopting him.
Yeah, but
it makes even more sense because he feels even more responsible.
Yeah.
So I have to say kudos for that scriptwriter because I actually think you tying that in actually made it make even more sense.
Yeah. But now I have to call more bullshit on it because it breaks the continuity of the first one because in that continuity the Joker killed his parents and then all of a sudden Two-Face is and they still played up like they...
No, I'm talking about killed Robin's parents.
Yeah, I know, but still, I just wanted to point out in Batman Forever, it was revealed that Two-Face was actually the murderer of his parents. So it broke the continuity of the Joker. Yeah, it did. When when Bruce was thinking back on when his parents were killed, he says to Alfred he killed them Two-Face.
No, he killed Robin's parents. That's why he was mad.
Oh, okay.
You never figured that out? That's why he felt responsible, just like he killed them.
I'm sorry.
Just like his parents were killed.
I just always
That's
thought
why
it was
he adopted them.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, now we know.
Well,
10 years later, Nick
error
figures it out.
Right.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I could enlighten you. Yeah, that was not a continuity error. That was just another reason why he adopted Robin.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said before.
Yeah, but on Two-Face, Tommy Lee Jones, he is a good actor, but he could have played that role so much better had Schumacher not directed it the way he did. So.
Well, with the whole new feel, they were going less dark, more kid-friendly,
Yeah.
more flamboyant, and
Yeah.
it went, you know, he was hot pink skinned with a hot pink wig and a
Yeah.
hot pink cheetah patterned, like,
Yeah,
suit.
Yeah, I think
And then, you know, instead of having using Tommy Lee Jones' serious side,
yeah,
which would have made a very frightening Two-Face.
definitely.
You know, he went the more I'll let loose too, you know?
Over the top.
Yeehaw! He felt like a
Over the
Texan,
top,
didn't
yeah.
he? Like he was a crazy Texan.
Yeah, it was.
It felt like that to me.
Yeah, and like his henchmen with like the half red, half black masks and things like that.
Yeah, you know, but it almost felt more like a comic book then. It was more like
Cartoony.
comic booky,
Yeah.
cartoony, yeah, less gritty, real.
Yeah,
But
well, it still had the darkness to it.
It still had some darkness. I mean,
Yeah.
Edward Nygma's origin was kind of, you know.
Well, he was like Selena Kyle, but like a
well,
nobody, but like
he was a nobody, but he had a good idea, and he was shot down, and
Yeah.
his idol kind of like disappointed him,
yeah.
and then he got like vengeful towards
But
him.
that's gearing toward more like
betrayal and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
but that's gearing more towards a kid like life lesson hammered, you know.
you know, any of these could be read as a kid life lesson. So I'm not going to say he was catering to the kids there.
Yeah.
Only thing that was catered to the kids was no blood and no outright deaths except, you know, Two-Face,
Yeah.
which wasn't really shown. But,
Yeah.
you know, you knew he was dead. Because of those blades and whatever.
Yeah.
But not even the Riddler wasn't killed in this one either.
No, he was left in Arkham.
Yeah. Oh,
But
I totally
that-
forgot Nicole Kidman was in this movie.
First exposure was Cameron Diaz in The Mask, so swing.
And then-
Okay,
so-
she was hot. So
Yeah, she was very hot in that movie, definitely.
okay.
Plus, she kind of developed like a crazy like infatuation with
Because
Batman.
she was a psychiatrist, so
Yeah, but she was a little bit nutty because she liked Batman so much.
yeah. And then she started to like Bruce, and
And
then he calls bullshit, and then it's like another bullshit. Batman's no more. And then like you know he was just being Supermanish with like his hands on his hips and like him smiling, like. You know what I mean?
He was smiling because she picked Bruce Wayne, that's why.
Yeah.
And that whole movie was about him trying to reconcile Bruce Wayne and Batman. He
Yeah.
wanted to be Bruce Wayne again. But he couldn't
Dick was
be.
like, come on, dude, you can't just quit.
So then he kind of like figured out that, he could be both.
Yeah.
But you really can't be. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like,
Rocky.
it was interesting. It was all interesting dichotomies.
Yeah, but this started the trend of rubber nipples and
Yeah, then it went
Like-
to some crazy places.
yeah.
And that really annoying, like, chick with the glasses that interviews
Well,
him.
and
Oh, I
also
hated that
and
chick.
also in Batman Forever, Dick Grayson, like, I mean, in the first half of the movie, like, it was serious, but then towards the end, he turned into the Burt Ward Robin with the holy wrestle metal Batman.
That was just a quick nod, like a joke. Because
Yeah.
remember, he's like, what? He's like, the metal. It's holy.
yeah.
And then he never did that again. That was another campy nod because, you know what? I think that their model was more
Kid friend, as we said before.
more of that
yeah,
even.
so.
But I liked it then. Now Nick won't let me watch it because he refuses to buy
Well,
it.
the only
and he gets angry if you watch it. So
well, I try to avoid as much as I could, but the only piece of footage that I watch is the end, with the bat signal and the silhouettes of Batman and Robin running towards camera. I mean, it's still like an iconic moment, but but I will never watch that movie from beginning to end.